Hello everybody and welcome back to my Red Support series, the series where I show you how to build somewhat decent redstone contraptions, usually. In this case, it's a very complex redstone contraption. Although, to be fair, this, while it may look absolutely hideous to build, that thing right there, that is the lifeblood of it. That is basically everything you need right in here, and even within this area, the storage, that can be modified. This is just my bulk storage system. You don't need to do it that way. You can do it however you like. But what this is, as you may have noticed by the title of the video, it is a warehouse design for a redstone shop. And by redstone shop, I mean like Sahara on Hermitcraft. If you don't know what that is, there's a link to Mumbo's video where he explains it, if I can find it. Otherwise, it may be one of the other architects. Anyways, there's a link to where they explain what Sahara is. But the way Sahara was built, it's not super efficient. It is not green-proof. This system is almost green-proof. It's not quite, because there's a little caveat with these hoppers, which I will get into in a moment. It is that one, right? Yes, it is that one. So the way this is designed is you can just come up here and technically everything you need to do is just up here, unless you're stocking something else for the first time. But because we're actually out of yellow concrete, you have to come down here first, and if I can find the hopper again, you have to fill this hopper up first. And then you can fill from the top chest. And this is, I mean, in theory you could fill from the top chest, however, every once in a while one item just won't make it in, so you'll be one item short. But why are you shooting out? Oh no. Something broke. And I'm trying to figure out what broke. There should be a comparator down there, and this is the issue with this. It is very compact, so it's very hard to move around, and that should not be a redstone dust. That should be a comparator. If I can... Give me a... Alright, I just fixed it. The issue was water got everywhere and destroyed a single comparator, which basically just broke everything, but now it's fixed and we don't have any shulker box leakage. But as you can see, it's filling up all the shulker boxes with exactly 16 blocks. Now if we hop in here, this is probably the only trade-off that I really had, which this really helps make the whole system a lot more compact. And that is these evo hopper clocks. And what these are doing is one side is firing the piston while the other side is spinning out the shulker to be filled. And if I can find the hopper that has items, now there are exactly 16 items. In here, not that one, in the other one, nope. Did I not time this one yet? I totally did not time that one. Let's go this one. But there are 17 items, and just for demonstration purposes, let's set this one to 32 items per shulker box, and you'll see what I mean. So it takes, if you want n items per shulker box, you need n plus 1 in the hopper timer. Now the limit of items per box is 5 stacks. Well, technically 5 stacks minus 1. But most of the time you're not going to be charging 5 stacks for a diamond. I mean, if anything, you could in theory set up one of the circuits to shoot out 2 shulker boxes instead. but I mean, there are some limitations here, alright? It's a thing. But I'm gonna move over to this one just because this thing looks scary, and I know you're like, why? No, I don't want this. But also another nice little thing is if you need shulker boxes, which this system is currently full, so I'm only gonna add about that many. You just plop those in the chest, and they all just shoot out and go everywhere. Now, I didn't design this system perfectly, so they do get stuck every once in a while from the dispenser, or dropper in this case. However, once they're in the loop, they're just in the loop. And I do have a solution for this, but it would take a little bit more time, and I just don't feel like building that right now. Eventually, I will build a complete version of this with the ordering system, and I'll explain how that all works, but that'll be in another episode. Today, I just want to focus on this, which is each module. Now, as you noticed over there, they're all really close together because this edge right here, this block, or this right here, that will literally just be this. It's that compact. They just fit right next, one after the other, as you can see right over there. And if you mirror it to the other side, I don't want to say mirror, that's not, I mean, in theory, no, if you mirrored it, then the water would be going the other way. Never mind. If you flip this 180 degrees, so if I take this structure block, I'll show you what I mean here. Plot this here and rotate it 180 degrees and load. Now, when I deload it, there's a little bit of bugginess with water, so we'll just fix that up real fast. But that is how close they can be. It's literally, I could fit 4 in this space right here, which is just insane, and I want to get rid of this real fast. So now we're going to go and crack on with a tutorial, and hopefully this will make everything make a little bit more sense. So we're going to start with an 8x6 area, and it doesn't really matter how you orient it. It's not one of those that's one way needs to be north or one way needs to be south. No, it doesn't really matter. So you're going to start by we're going to start with this circuit right here, which will, this is what will say, oh hey, the customer just ordered 5 packages of yellow concrete or something. And I'm going to start with what is basically, actually let's not start there. So right here is where the items will come in from, and that we're going to start there first actually. We'll start with a block, 1 in, and then go up and over. And this right here is just your typical item filter. So we need a comparator and repeater. Comparator. The radius of dust like so. A repeater, and I need a torch. And get some hoppers. So 1 hopper will come in here. Now you're going to put in a temporary block. I'm just using a hopper for now. A dropper right there. I believe it's supposed to be facing that way. No, it is not. No, come on, right there. And then we're going to take the hopper and face it into the dropper. And now we need a comparator output from the dropper. So it should be, I can find where I'm taking, where I'm taking that from. Okay. So put a block behind the dropper, and then a comparator from that block, and then you're going to want a repeater running into the dropper. I'm just saying this because that's what's on my mind. And this circuit, if I can remember, let's see. There's some dust and a repeater. Which this is facing into a sticky piston with a block on its face. And for some reason I'm thinking I'm doing this wrong. I am totally doing this wrong. So forget that. And now a sticky piston goes there with the block on its face, and an observer facing into the sticky piston like so. Rest some dust, and just connect up the line. And then you're going to want to grab some packed ice or blue ice and put that right here for now, just so we can test it. This will eventually become the item line that'll fill in this hopper. But for now, we're just going to stick with one there. And also, we're going to need to grab some orange glass. I mean, it can be any block. It really doesn't have to be glass. But I just like using glass because that... I'm doing this entirely different than I did it originally. Although... Actually, yeah, we'll just do it this way because it's more effective and it might be nicer. Yeah, I'm totally changing the design on the fly right now. But this tunnel, well, you can, this right here, that will be your block output for what was sold. So this is how you know, hey, I just sold 5 crates of yellow concrete or 5 crates of beacons or whatever you're selling. So this you want to go into an IM stream or something, and these will all be linked up. I'm not going to link them up here, but that's for you to do on your own. Just make sure it goes down a bit, that way it can stay outside of everything. So now, just to make sure this works, we're going to grab Ender Pearls because, I mean, if you're building with this, you probably have a Enderman farm. And I'm trying to remember, I think it's that number, right? And if we just put, here, we'll sell orange stained glass. And I just want to make sure this is all working properly. And it looks like it is. Okay, so just make sure that you put in 2 of your block beforehand because 1 will get stuck down here. And just plop 1 in. And it should all be working, right? Did you flip on hopper time or on timings? No, I did not. But from here, oh, that must be why. Okay, let's just put that up there for now. Now from here, you're going to put 2 observers facing up. Red some dust on that one. And from there, I believe those 2 are facing straight down. Yes, they are. There, you're going to put a temporary block up here, and let's just put some droppers facing down. Now, this one right here, we're going to put a hopper and a chest. And you could also use a barrel here. This will store your receipts. So these go to your customer saying, hey, you bought this item, this is what you owe. And this is what will actually send out the package. And from here, you're just going to get some packed ice or blue ice, some glass. I'm using green for, or cyan for this output. And follow this like so. Make sure that's lined up properly. Keep it in your nice little area. And we are going to get some water and a sign. Just put the sign at the end, the water at the back. And now, if we just say these signs are our receipt or something, and we'll just put some orange glass in there. And for now, I'm going to put a hopper and that to test it and make sure this, just make sure the circuit works. Let's put in 4 orange glass. It did 8. Something is going on with that sticky piston. I don't know what's going on exactly, because it shouldn't be doing that. I mean, let's actually test this one. So if we put in some yellow concrete, that one is totally working. Oh, big issue. The comparator needs to be in subtract mode, and oh my gosh, I feel so stupid right now. And it needs to do that. So now when we put in our stuff, it should work. So let's just try that one last time. Let's try 7. And now it works. Yeah. Comparator, subtract mode. That's very important. So this is what that circuit should be looking like. I made a mistake there. That's, yeah. So from there, this is all working fine now. We can fill in our circuit that'll be sending, or it's not really a circuit, it's just where the items are coming from. So now we can do one of these. And I just like to do it. We'll do it this way. And this is the one I used green stained glass for. Again, you can use any block. I'm just using colored glass to show that these item circuits are different. And then just fill in the walls before you put in water, because that can lead to disastrous messes. Just fill in the glass like so. And this will all connect up. So now we can take our sign. And well, let's see, which way I have the water going. So I have, my recommendation here is to basically put a water source here, sign, and then this would be shooting out the item. And to emulate the other side real fast, I'm just going to plop some of this down. And that would be your observer, and this is your packed ice right there. And that's how this would look when you had the rest of the system attached. We're not going to do that right now. Just going to let the water flow down. But you would actually have water right here between multiple modules. So now this next circuit we're going to build right here is this red one. Now this circuit, this was the last thing I added, and what this circuit will do is basically it just acts as an overflow protection. So if you run out of items, it'll shut off the system. If you run out of shulker boxes, it'll shut off the system. If you're full of shulker boxes, it'll shut off the system. So to build this one, we're going to have to make sure I'm putting blocks in the right place. Put down 3 blocks like so. Is that it? No, it is not. I'm failing again. No, not like so either. No, wait. So you have 2 there. I have 2 there. Oh, there was not supposed to be the last block there. That was throwing me off. Okay. So you're going to have this set up here. Now you're going to put a block of redstone right there, and that's going to act as a subtractor for your comparator, which will be detecting if there's items in this hopper. And these 2 hoppers are what's going to be taking in the shulker boxes. At least they should be. And for whatever reason, I have this one facing into the redstone dust. I'm not sure if you actually need to do that. But because that's what I have going on, we'll do it that way. Now from here, you're going to put a block right there. Get yourself a redstone torch. Put that on its face. That does not seem right, and it is not. I really just need this to work. Okay, block there, then the redstone torch. Is that right? I have to keep on checking. Okay, that is right. And then 1 bit of redstone dust right there, and a block on the comparator's face. I can. Yes, although the block on the comparator's face, I have that as quartz right here. And technically that we're using a different circuit to do this. So I'm just going to grab some white concrete and put that there. And we're actually just going to finish up this white circuit, which is just your etho hopper clock. Nothing too fancy. Let's make sure I'm just doing that all right. Yes, I am. So we have this shape with the white, and then so you grab a redstone torch there, and do the same on this side. Yourself 2 comparators, and a temporary block. Run the hopper into that block, and then 2 sticky pistons with a block of redstone in the middle. And now in here is where you're going to be putting your, or how many items you want to sell. So if you want to sell a stack, put a stack in one. So we'll make this one sell a stack of items. And now this hopper clock's going. And it will go forever. Unless we shut it off, which is what this system will do. Which also, another couple of things that we need to make sure that we do are putting 2 torches on the other side of the block, and then start work on this green circuit. Now this green circuit's really all it does is fire that dispenser, which puts out the shulker boxes. So it's a very small circuit, but very important. So just the 3 blocks like so, and redstone dust on them all. And now we're going to put a dispenser right there. And actually, hold on, let's make sure I put those as droppers. I did. Okay. And now this next circuit that we're going to build real fast. This will be what sends out your quantities, basically. So I didn't put it on this one because I designed it at the last second. But what this circuit does, and this will have to be shot into an item stream similar to this one right here, and I know it's directly above it, so I'll probably bring this out a couple more. And while yes, it makes it sound a little bit less compact, but I mean, you want to be able to move around between on this side. In the middle, it doesn't really matter as much because you can just walk on this or pop down, but on this side, as you can see, it's kind of a mess. So navigating through this isn't the best of ideas. So it's kind of a nice thing that this is forcing you to go a little bit more. Now, if you just want to stock it manually, you don't need this pink circuit. Put your item stock manually, but let's face it, who wants to do that? So this will just do that automatically for you. All you have to do is give the system shulker boxes and items, and that's it. And the machine will do the rest for you, which is very nifty, I think. Now, we're not going to continue the red circuit right now. We're going to work on this blue circuit, which is what will break the shulker box and make sure it gets into the system. Which is this one right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a block on top of this redstone torch, and then one next to it come out 3. I believe it's 3, right? Yes, 3. And then we're going to come up 1 block and come over a little bit. Actually, just keep on coming over until you hit this dropper and go up 1 block there. And now we're going to need a redstone torch as well. And then just redstone on all of this here. A redstone torch. And we're going to come out 1 more block right here. And redstone dust. And we're going to take a piston. Right there. Facing down, and that will basically just break the shulker box when it's full. And the other circuit we need is to make sure that this hopper isn't sucking items from the shulker box as it's being filled. So it takes some. Just build a line like so. If I can find where I have it coming down from. Let's see, so 1 block out, so 1 block out and down. Redstone dust there. And then apparently I have a repeater right here. So down a repeater. With 2 bits of redstone dust. Going like so. 2 blocks and then redstone dust. And that'll lock your hopper until this actually should show what'll happen. Yep, so that would dispense the that would dispense right there. And as you can saw, that just fell down. And now the last part of our shulker box loading station that we need is a way to fill up all of the items. So we're just going to basically make a couple of hoppers there. Actually, I think I have one, one, and then up. And then this is where your storage is going to start at. And this right here, you can do it however you want. Just make sure it doesn't interfere with any of the other build. This is my design. And this is what I'm going to be showing you how to build. But, oh, it's missing a piece here. But you can do however you want. So we take that single chest and actually I'm going to modify this on the fly. So now from the single chest we can take in 2 items at a time. And this will just be 2 chests like so. And now this one right here will just come back and keep on going up as high as you want it to. Just do that. And this one will follow the pattern. But right here, we're also going to put in another set of chests. So now we can have 3 times the storage just between that. And just real fast, I'm going to change gears, and we're going to set up the loading for the shulker boxes, which will just be 2 hoppers like so. And then I'm using glass here. You can use anything as long as it's not going to break these 2 resin dusts. So, and then, oh, I used to run it like that. Now I don't. Okay. And then just packed ice or blue ice. Or you could also make a rail system. But you can just fill in all of this, and I'm going to get some yellow stained glass to protect our redstone from the water. And the thing you need to be careful with here is sometimes the items, if they're running along this edge right here, they can get caught. So what I recommend you do instead is just shoot out the items this way, and then they'll just float along on this wall instead, which is part of the issue with my shulker box loader right here, is it'll spit out the items, but they'll go this way and get stuck on that corner. But that's what this here is for, right? So this water stream just pushes, and then it's fine. So it doesn't take much. You just have to make sure that you're able to push the items onto that wall right there. Now we're just going to take some water and a sign. And we're just going to fill in this, put a sign at the end, and there you go. That is the shulker box item stream all done. Just cover up the top so nothing can escape. And the reason I just did that there is so I can get another hopper and just figure out which way would be more efficient. Go. I think this way is slightly more efficient. So in this one, I actually managed to get a whole nother row of 4 chests before. And just make sure that your hoppers are all pointing into the chest next to them. And this pattern right here that I'm doing, you can bring this up as high as you want. This is just how I'm doing it. And actually, hold up. Nope. Forget I was doing it that way. Just come over here, pop down a chest, and do it on this one. That way it's a little bit more compact in here, and it keeps you inside of the bounding box. And then once you're done with how high you want it, just put hoppers on top of all of them. Take 2 hoppers like so. And now we're going to take a rail and a hopper minecart, and glass panes or iron bars will work. Just something like this. Put a rail with a hopper minecart, break the rail, and push that in. And put 2 chests right here. And now this is how you're going to load it. Just put whatever item you want in this chest, and it will make its way into this massive storage system. And if that chest ever gets full and you have something like this, you're probably set on stock for a very long time. So at this point, all that's left is to finish the red circuit, which is the lockdown system to make sure that we don't get any empty shulker boxes, any overfull shulker boxes, anything like that. So the cases in which we want this to shut down are if we run out of items, so we want to take a comparator output from that block, which means I need a comparator, so we'll do that. If we run out of shulker boxes, so we want a comparator output from our dispenser, and we want to AND these. Or is AND? No, we want to OR them. Which, oh, right. So basically, so we want to invert their outputs and then take the OR of that. So just 2 redstone right there. And now there's one other case, if I can find it, and that is if this starts to overflow. So for that one, we already have our comparator in place with the redstone dust and a torch. And those are our 3 cases. So OR of that, and I guess realistically you could just do this. And I don't think that's powering anything. So now you could just do that, but what I have in here is a little bit different. So where's our torch? There's our torch. So I have a block with redstone dust on the top. And now I need a repeater. Repeaters. I need a repeater. There we go. So now we have a repeater there. And that is running into a block with a redstone torch on it. which that should be on, I think. So that apparently is right. It's confusing me a bit, but anyways, we're going to take a repeater output from this and set it to 4 ticks. And that will be going into a block right about there with a torch on top of it. And now this is our shutoff circuit, so just put a block here, and that'll shut off this piston. And then put 3 blocks like so, and resin dust on those 3, and a repeater facing into this line right here. And I believe that's everything. So let me just run one quick double check to make sure I covered everything. So that looks like everything is done, and now it's time for a test. So we have this currently set to fill up with 64 items, and we need to fill it with shulker boxes. So we'll do that. So we'll just come in here, fill you up with 5. And just fill this up completely. And let's see, we're selling a stack. So let's just say a stack of dark oak blocks for a diamond or something. So come down here, fill up this one with the dark oak. And now we can fill in this chest, and the reason I'm using the hopper minecart there is it allows you to keep it, or to fill it up sooner than you otherwise would. So instead of taking just 2 items out at a time, or a couple, as you can see, it's chewing through this. And eventually this will fill up, but it's running at 4 times the speed of 1 hopper. But that's all filled up, so it should be filling up with stock in here, which it is, and that all looks good. And now we wait. Unless, let's see. So that should be filled up with glass, which I don't want. And there's our first box. 64 logs, it's working. So now let's simulate this filling up. So that'll be the last one. So make sure this is all working properly. That's turned off, which has turned... Okay, yep, that was fine. Which has turned this on, which is igniting the ore. Activates everything, so the system is turning off right now. It's saying, oh hey, I'm not supposed to be filling up right now. And once it breaks this last box, wherever our piston is, right there, it'll just stay down, and that's a nice way of saying, oh hey, it's something's activated it to finish, which is all of that right there. So now we're going to come in round over here and get a couple of these out. And we're just going to fill that in. So now we're going to simulate ordering a couple of things. So we're going to order about 3. And something broke. I'm trying to figure out what broke. What is breaking? So this pink circuit right here, I am such an idiot. Get rid of that. So basically, I'm trying to remember what that proper term is, but redstone up here technically is powering that, which I forgot all about that. Now, there's a way to counter this, so we can totally add in this pink circuit again, and it will totally work, but we can't use redstone dust. There's something else we can use. Repeaters. So you can just grab yourself a repeater, and technically we want this to have as much delay as we can, although this is actually a very fast pulse when it pulses. And now we just add a block there. And now this should be all working. Once I can find the right tube, so we're going to simulate one order. Realize I haven't added my resin dust back. Let's try this again. Ta-da! There we go. Alright, so yeah. Hopefully you've been following along. It's not the best tutorial in the world, but hopefully you should be able to figure this out. So let's just simulate massive order. I don't even know how many threw in. I just wanted to buy a bunch. And why are you not giving me my oak signs in it? Oh my gosh. This totally worked earlier. Come on. Work with me here. So if I just pass in one more, let's just... Is there some... Oh. I am such an idiot again. Oh, I hate myself right now. So this position right here is, again, Bud powering this. I think it's called Bud. So let us just fix this very fast. So we'll just move our dropper down there. Switch our hopper to point down, and now let's just put all the signs in. So it'll start filling up with signs. And now let's try ordering again. Why you no still work? Why you no work? Oh, right. These don't count as like actual blocks in the ground. Okay, that's an easy fix. Just this doesn't really have a color, does it? Actually, no. This is the yellow. This is the yellow circuit. Let's not fall down, and just plug down 2 more resin dusts right there. So now this should work. Okay, so that fixes it, except now we have this issue where this is slightly off. We'll just do this. Okay, that fixes that just fixed everything. Okay. So this circuit right here now, this used to have the block and whatnot. So you're only going to be able to fit 9 items in here, or 9 stacks of paper, which again is kind of a lot. And I mean, every once in a while you're just going to have to come in here and fill in your receipts. Either that, or as long as this doesn't make anything get caught, we should be fine. So if we get ourselves a hopper and a chest, you should just be able to do something like this. Now you'll never run out of receipts. Just fill this guy up with all your receipts. So now let us try to fix this. And also part of the reason I set it up this way is because when I tried originally, it would only work if you did something like this. This one, so we threw out 3 already, so let's throw out 7. You can just throw out all of them at once and it'll actually count them properly. So we have 10, and yeah, we've also completely annihilated the stock. So that's part of the reason that you make sure that this arrives at your selling place after this has finished breaking the box. But hopefully that tutorial kind of made sense and you were able to follow along and you have now successfully built this in your world. I'm just going to remove all of this and just break that chest. So this right here is what you should end up with. I am going to make a copy of the world for download. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to put this structure block here. We're going to name this Redstone Shop Storage. Actually, Smart Redstone Shop Storage, so SRSS. And let's see here. Structure size, it should be 8, 13, 6, I believe, is the proper way. I just realized I put that in the wrong spot. So 8, 13, 6, done. And that goes up another, so it goes up another few blocks. 6, let's try that. Is that going to be high enough? 2 more. 18, include entities. And I'm going to save that now. So now if I wanted to, I could just, so let's say you want to just put this into your world. All you have to do is take a structure block, switch over to load, type in SRSS, done. It'll should show you or load, okay, and then make sure to include entities, and it will show you a preview of where it's going to put it. And now you can also rotate it so 90 degrees, 180, or 270. So let's try 90. So I'll go in there. Actually, let's try 270 then. We'll load it and get stuck. And everything is all there, working perfectly. So when you're putting this into your world, so let's, for example, I'm just going to teach you how to do this. This is how I'm going to preferably give you all the pieces that you need. So we create a new world. I mean, it's just temps. It's just a temporary world. I'm going to delete it. Go creative. Create new world. So this is just a brand new world. So now that we're in a world, I'm just going to plop it down here. So we have a structure block. So it's the command is there we go. That. So give your name structure block, and we're just going to place it down. Switch over to load, but we need the file. So this is just how I get to it. I go to my shaders and then go to the shader folder. And now we switch over to my desktop. So now that we're in our file explorer, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come into saves and into Redstone Shop. And this right here is what you want. So I'm just going to make the archive, which actually I don't know how many people have 7-zip, so make a zip file. So now you're going to take that zip and go into the world you just made, or the world that you want it in, and just extract here. And now we can go back to Minecraft and type in the file name, include entities, load, position says it was prepared, and load. And it is right there waiting for your usage. And with that, that is how you build a very smart shop module. And eventually I will expand this out, and hopefully we'll have another episode out sometime next week where I'll kind of explain how you'd go about building an actual shop with a bunch of these, so you can impress all your friends when they come to shop at your place. And all they have to do is push Q on a couple of items and everything's just delivered to them. And that's going to do it for this episode. So if you enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.